I'm Brenda with CountryGirlGrit, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. In this video, I am going to kind of go over a little bit about the things that you need to do and the things that I've learned along the way. So this is a lot of been there, done that, coming from mistakes or things I've learned in this video. And we're talking about from mostly cold weather, because like, for example, I live in South Carolina, like the southern part of South Carolina, which I think all of it's southern part, right? But anyway, so like today in December, we're waking up to, and we're talking middle December almost, we're waking up to 70 degrees and it's raining. And by the end of the day, not even by the end of the day, like today, it's a cold front's coming in, so it's turning into like 40 degrees. So we're going from 70 degrees in the morning time to, by, I don't know, probably by 2, we're going to be at 40. And then tonight we're going to be at freezing. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the things that you need to do in a camper. And I've been living this lifestyle for about 6 months now, probably. And a lot of this I have learned along the way. And the first thing I want to talk about is the water. So you want to make sure that you are dripping your water if it's freezing, because I promise you, your water will freeze. And so in the camper, I just kind of leave it dripping. If not, it will freeze, because mine has, and then you risk the chance of, you know, having pipe damage. The second thing I want to talk about is you want to make sure, like, you constantly check your ceiling and make sure that you don't see any leaks. Like right now it's raining, so I've already kind of checked. I always check every time it's raining, and I'm like always hoping, crossing my fingers, that I don't have anything leaking, because I need to get a ladder so I can get up on the roof. And even if you don't have leaks, you want to apply, you know, what's it called, seal it. And so I need to do that, and I haven't done it yet, but because campers are famous for leaks, you know. Another thing that I want to talk about is the toilet, the pipes outside from your camper to the sewer is, believe it or not, that liquid and that solid that goes into your pipes. And I leave mine open because it's connected to the sewer, so I just kind of leave that pipe open to go, you know, directly into the sewer. But those pipes sometimes they kind of like do this number, like they get heavy and they bend down, and if it's freezing, that freezes. It freezes, and then when it freezes, it could come loose, which you don't want that to happen, because then you're in trouble. You're gonna have like a frozen, you know, stuff that comes out of your body, and it's going to be in a pipe and it's come loose from your camper. So what I do is I make sure that I have my pipe up under it, and I'm going to show you a video. And I learned this from another camp host, which I'm like, cool, like really cool, because it holds the pipe so that it goes directly to the sewer and then down. So that works really great. Another thing is making sure that you have propane. And in my case, I've got 2 propane tanks, but for some reason, one is not feeding over to the other one if it runs out. So I need to make sure that that propane tank that is full, you know, is coming into the camper. But if I don't keep that extra one filled, I just might run out in the middle of the night, and been there, done that. Ranger and I, we ran out like on an 18-degree night, and I woke up so cold. I was like, ooh. I was like freezing, had blankets all over me, and Ranger, he was at my feet trying to feel my body temperature. It was pitiful. So I got up and I was like, why is it so cold in here? So I turned the thermostat up, went over to the vents, and sure enough, the vents were blowing out cold air. I was like, oh my gosh. So, lesson learned, have that extra propane tank filled up. And I've got like 220 propane tanks, but when one runs out, I have to like switch it over to the other side because, like I was telling you, I don't know what's wrong with that side. But another thing is that propane, it just sucks up coming from the heater. Like that heater just sucks up that propane so fast. So when I'm here during the day, if I'm here during the day, I use a space heater, and I love it. It warms up really nice. But at night, I try to use my propane. And as far as the stove goes, I don't really use my propane stove. What I do is I use a hot plate that plugs right into the electricity, since I'm working as a camp host, you know, and so I get that free rent, free utilities. So I plug it right on in and try to not use my propane unless I need to. The other thing is when you're mopping these floors, if you don't have carpet, is you want to make sure that all the water gets up. Because what I found is, like, I left a little bit of water on the floor because maybe my mop was too wet, and so it made my floor in like one spot, it made it kind of you know, buckle up a little bit. Now I got to try to put some like silicone or something down there to make it go back down. I mean, it's not bad or anything, but still, you don't want to like have those mistakes. That's a mistake. That's like an error, a problem that I caused. So you'll see in this video there is a pipe that another camp host gave me that goes up underneath my pipe, and that helps to kind of keep it straight. And never would I have ever thought about that, but it is a really great idea. So here I am just kind of making sure that all the liquid and the solids are going out down to the bottom of the drain, because we are going to have a freeze tonight. Seriously, this is a lesson learned, because it is not fun when you have to go outside in the black dark in the middle of the night and try to hook up a propane tank, holding your dog in the other hand. So it's a lot of work too, and when your hands are cold, it's really kind of hard to like get everything unscrewed and hooked back up. So that is a lesson learned, making sure that these propane tanks are filled up so that you don't run into a freezing night and you don't have warmth. So what I've noticed about these propane tanks, they're the 21, whatever you call the 20, is it 20 pounds? I'm not sure. But anyway, they only last, if you're using your heat in cold weather, they only last about 4 days. So, and that's what I found, is because the heat it just sucks it up. So, that's why I try not to use it as much as I can possibly not use it. But that is a winter thing that you have to allow for these propane tanks. So not only will you be miserable if you run out of propane, your fur friend will be miserable too. Another thing that I found that I really like to have living full-time in wheels, especially for the cold weather, is I like to have an electric blanket. Oh my gosh, I love an electric blanket. However, I don't have one right now because a while back I felt like one side of it was too hot. So just for security reasons, I tossed that thing right on out. And I did buy like a carbon monoxide detector / smoke alarm, just to have an extra one in. Another thing I've noticed is, like, when you are running low on propane, it seems like you kind of smell, I think you kind of smell the propane when it's running out. And so I've learned that. Yeah, and by the way, I'm filming with the first model of the iPhone, the first model that ever came out. So, you know, if you're wondering why I don't have the best quality, I am frugal and it's doing its job. So, if you haven't already, please subscribe. That's the biggest compliment that you can give me, is by helping me grow my channel. Hit notifications, leave me some comments. I'd love to know what you would like to know more about in this lifestyle. If it's nature, if it's living full-time on wheels. I'd love to share more information with you. See you later. Love you guys.